Alright, welcome back, Summoners, to a very special Christmas edition of the Garena Premier League. My name is Chris, I'm joined by Hungry Kid, and we already had game number 1 between KTHXBAI and Kuala Lumpur Hunters that went through with Kuala Lumpur Hunters picking up a very impressive victory, and we'll have game number 2 very, very shortly.
Yeah, basically the Jae-Yong show. They got a bunch of kills on him early on, despite him falling behind. He died in a very early engage, misplayed it a little, but in the end he managed to get rolling, get his Phantom Dancer and his Infinity's Edge, and he was just at the back line chunking people down, the Super Mega Death Rocket as well as the Fishbones and Pow Pow.
Yeah, so game number 2 is going to come up very, very shortly, and let's see if KTHXBAI will be able to bring something back against the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. But before that, of course, this is a very special Christmas broadcast, so I kind of want to embrace the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah,
so
dude, I love Christmas.
I have a surprise for my co-caster, so hold on. Okay.
Oh.
So I don't know whether you can see it, but okay, this is a present.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Okay,
I
this is a
kind of didn't
present.
get you anything. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine, it's fine. I have to, I'm kind of like the guy.
The senior, right?
Yeah. So okay, this is a present. So go ahead and open it.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
it's not gonna bite
I got
you.
a receipt, I believe, or a piece of paper, and Chris gave me free LP, guys.
Free LP for everyone. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah. So, I'm
sorry.
Merry Christmas. So anyway, we're gonna wait for the players to come into the lobby, of course.
Yeah,
so
they are all loading in to the lobby as we speak, filing in. In this game too, before
wait, before that, I still wanna carry on the Christmas thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. We can talk about the game when the players all load up. Don't worry about that. So, I especially prepared a few Christmas jokes as well.
Okay.
So, do you know that Santa Claus has a race?
What?
You wanna guess where he's from?
Where he's from?
Yeah.
The
You know how we call, like, you and I were Singaporeans?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, Malaysians.
Alaskan maybe, North Pole, South Pole.
Yeah, he's North Polish.
Okay, North Polish.
Yeah, he's North Polish. And what do you call people who are afraid of Santa Claus?
Oh, I know this one.
Yes.
Claustrophobia.
Oh yeah, you got it. Okay. So
I'm 1-for-2, so I'm
yeah,
not too bad.
yeah, no,
50%
not too
ain't
bad,
bad.
not too
Yeah.
yeah. And wait, this is the last one. Okay, so you know how Santa Claus has how people say that Santa Claus only has one work day per year.
Yeah, it's like today, right? So we're all working, and he's working.
Technically Christmas Eve.
Oh, fine. Yeah. Okay.
Dropping.
If you wanna get
presents and-
technical, yes, yesterday.
Yeah. So, do you know he actually has a real like daytime job?
What?
You wanna make a
Wrapping
guess?
gifts?
Make a very intelligent guess.
Managing his factory, making toys, I guess.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, he's actually a farmer.
Why?
Cause he goes ho ho ho.
Right, you're like the ray. Okay. For those that don't understand, a hoe is a farming implement that you use
That's right.
to make holes in the soil to plant. So apparently Santa Claus, a bit on welfare sometimes. He has to do his farming.
Ho.
Big agriculture guy, I believe.
Yeah, so he sells his crops, and then end of the year he gets so much money. It's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna do
Money in the
something
bank.
nice. Yeah, I'm gonna do something nice, and I'm gonna give back to the children. It's like the nice kids. I'm gonna give them presents, and that's how Santa Claus came about, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, this is all not true, but just having a little bit of fun. Hey, here we go. Pick a man face for KLH going up against KTHXBAI. Very timely,
Yeah, straight cut into it, perfect timing. As you can see, Zerath once again banned out for Kuala as well as Nar taking out for 13 goals. Same picks and bans. I'm very curious, as I point out the previous game before we went to the break, will they ban out that Leona or even first pick that Leona? Because KLH is on the blue side. If KTHXBAI doesn't ban it out, I'm almost certain they're going to take it.
Let's see what's going to be the decision for KTHXBAI. Of course, I just want to re-emphasize how important this game is for both teams here. Kuala Lumpur Hunters went 1-1 against ISG Legends in last week's game. So if they pick up a 2-0 here, they will be going up against them to fend for the top of the table. KTHXBAI here, they desperately need to at least tie things up against Kuala Lumpur Hunters. If not, they will be out of the equation to make it out of group stages.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But here you can see Leona taken out. They hurt me. So I think your response pick here, if you're playing, you instantly take the Lissandra, as I was about to say.
Yep.
Very strong top lane pick. Everyone favors the Lissandra nowadays because you can effectively get that Morel Nomicon very early and transition into a Zhonya's Hourglass. You get to the point where essentially you go and deal a lot of damage, survive, and then continue doing damage after that. So 13 goals on this Lissandra. He had a really amazing game previously. It's up to him to sort of set the pace for this game.
Yeah, but the thing about 13 goals is that traditionally he does very, very well on like bruiser sort of top
That's
laners.
true.
Yeah, and you know, we have seen in a couple of games in the Legend Circuit, of course, for viewers who do not know what that is the Singapore and Malaysian circuit. He kind of doesn't feel very comfortable on Lissandra, but the thing is that he still can play Lissandra. I would love to see Ozorveki pick that up though. I feel like he's a much more confident and comfortable Lissandra player.
So a 2-for-1 here. KTHXBAI ban out the Leona and take away the Thresh from Caspio, who in history, whenever his Leona's been banned out, he likes that Thresh. So what he's going to default to is a big question. I think something along the lines of Alistair Janna would be very fair. Brom 2 would work. However, Stray, going again with that Jarvan, previously his Jarvan against that Sejuani did not do as much work as we expected, but right now hovering over the Janna is this KLH side.
Yeah, I would slightly prefer the Alistair a bit more, just because it fits into his playstyle a lot. And you know, the thing about Casper is that the first time I set my eyes on this player is that
was it love at first sight?
No, not quite. But you know, the first time I saw him in competitive play, he played a super mean Alistair. You know, just roaming around. The moment he got his boots of ability, he never stayed in the bottom lane. He just roamed around, make sure that he snowballed his solo laners, and you know, of course, you know, in a position where Jaeyoung is already ahead, and you know, he's gonna be able to farm out for himself. And you know, that's the thing though. But I guess having that Janna in the mix is not too bad as well.
The disengage is really very useful in this case,
right.
And the Lissandra being picked up here by 13 goals, you already have the AoE coming in. You don't want too much AoE to stack it, you know what I mean? Because you want a bit of a ability to play to something else. And with the Janna here, they could go with a bit of a protect the AD carry style, whereas Alistair slightly harder.
Yeah, and that was actually what I was about to say as well, is that with the new style of Moon coming to play here, he is one of the guys who like to actually front line for the rest of the squad, for the KLH squad. You kind of, you know, empty out this role. You have this new role that's going to be opened up, and right now, the primary concern for Casper is just to peel for Jaeyoung. So I think Jaeyoung is going to be very comfortable with now Janna on his side as well, so not too much of a concern for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. As looking at what KTHXBAI is picking up this time around, they will have that Irelia for themselves and that Caitlyn as well. So kind of just making sure that they have at least some sort of, you know, lane dominance, because we know for a fact that Caitlyn's going to do pretty well by herself in the early stages, even though you're picking it blind.
Yeah, Caitlyn Thresh is a bit of a strong lane now in the meta. I'm curious what James going to go for in response. He could pick up that Jinx again. He did very well with that Jinx previously. Corki and Lucian as well are available. Going for the Vayne, a very daring move, you have to feel, because Vayne in most instances is a natural weak counterpart to Caitlyn. You never get in range to proc your fights, and you only excel at level 6. However, with the Janna, the shield, in theory, could keep that Vayne very safe while trading damage across CO4, and he does lock in that Vayne.
Okay. Very confident with the lock-in is the side of Jaeyoung here. But, you know, I was told by once, you know, the thing about the interaction between Vayne and Caitlyn, if you can time the Silver Bolt procs properly, you will be able to outplay the Caitlyn. And in that sense, in a team fight, Vayne will be able to do a lot more as compared to Caitlyn.
That's true.
So, in that sense, I think Kuala Lumpur Hunters here are just playing to their own strengths. So, perhaps not picking it for the lane matchup, but picking it more towards the team fighting phase for Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
And something interesting is that with this Janna, in your lane, if you charge up the Howling Gale to the maximum and you knock them out, you could effectively use your final hour, tumble out from invisibility and surprise CO4, burst him down before he could even do anything, and then move on to kill the support of Pyro here. So a lane that's going to be very skill dependent if Jaeyoung can get the damage in.
Yeah, that's right. And let's look at what's going to be the final lock-in on the side of KTHXBAI. And it is going to be the Orianna coming in, so not too sure if that's going to be very, very effective dealing with Lissandra. So it is going to be that swap coming in, and it is going to be Ozorveki playing the Lissandra. So kind of like what we
I mean, you talked about it in the previous game, Lissandra. Very good flex pick. You can pick her early on, limits what your opponent can play. And now with this Renekton going up against Irelia, we saw how Swag, rather, in the top lane, played the Renekton really well. He was able to bully out 13 Ghosts, but he overextended a few times.
Yep.
I hope that 13 Ghosts has seen the mistakes of his counterpart here and says, you know, I saw how you beat me. I'm going to use the same way that you beat me, and I'm going to play safe and, you know, win my lane without overextending and being cocky.
Yeah, that's right. So I think this time around for KTHXBAI, they are extremely confident, or I would say they are in a position where they are trying to challenge the Kuala Lumpur Hunters, in fact, to say, you know what, you guys like to team fight, we can team fight too. They have the Javan, they have the Oriana, they have the Treasure. These guys are just great for starting out fights. And if you think back to the traditional Season 3 combinations, the ball delivery system, having the Javan and Fresh in that equation is just going to be pretty beastly. And, just having Caitlyn, who's just going to be sieging on the back end, and Irela just there to clean up the fights as well. So in a sense, KTHXBAI have a pretty solid and well-rounded composition. Whereas for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, I think they're sticking to what they had the most successful in the last game, and just making sure that we are going to do the same in game number 2, and that's how we're going to beat QL.
Yeah, you talk about the ball delivery system right here. KTHXBAI probably want to use the Irela, speed her up, use that Jarvan to EQ, flag and drag in, deliver the ball. But right now, Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they have the tools to do with that ball delivery. They have that Jenna Monsoon, they have that Howling Gale to knock up Irela while she's charging at you. And if all else fails, you can throw the Glacial Prison and just walk away after disengaging.
Yep, that's right. So Moon here, I just have to quickly comment that in game number 1, very impressed with his Glacial Prison.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, multiple times have been landing it onto KTHXBAI, two members, 3 members.
Even
if it's not getting the stun down, at least gets the slow in. The rest of the team, easy follow-up.
If you cast your mind back to the fight before the Baron, he got caught out by Koala's Ari. He had the charm, got the DFG on, tons of damage, down to about a quarter of his health. Managed to charge away, Arctic Assault out, turn around, throw the bowler, and re-engage for his teammate. Caught 3-4 members, and it was a simple matter of landing the Solar Flare on top of that with the Super Mega Death Rocket, So, Moon on this Sejuani, very comfortable, knows what Stray is capable of doing, very comfortable with that Sejuani pick.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure if that is in fact a pocket pick, or he's just picking it in the festive spirit of Christmas as well. He did play that Poro Rider skin in the previous game.
The funny thing is, judging from the way he plays his starts as well as the way he itemizes, it looks like something he's been practicing a fair amount.
Yeah, and I mean, you're giving credits to you cast your mind back to IEM Cologne as well when Gambit Diamond was playing Sejuani in the jungle. Definitely a very nice mix.
In the finals, it was basically in the Game 2 finals of CLG versus Gambit Gaming. Diamond Prox picked up the Sejuani, basically carried his team's early game because of his amazing powerful ganks, and he scaled on so well because with the new Sejuani changes, your W now, the Northern Winds, they do percentage damage over time. And on the screen you can see the centerpiece of the team, Mr. Jae-Young himself.
Yeah, that's right, and the rest of the lineup following suit as well. I kind of like how the teams have just this epic portraits of how they're gonna look like, and giving our viewers on how the players actually look like, so they are not.
It's very nice that they can connect the face to the name.
Yeah.
And even better if any of the teams win, I'm pretty sure you could contact Garena and get a poster of this to pin up on your wall.
Poster, man.
Yeah, definitely available.
Yeah.
Can
Would
be
you like
arranged.
yourself a KLH poster?
Well, I'm a caster, so I can't play any favorites.
Okay.
I have to be very objective, so I mean,
okay, if you don't want to just give it to me.
but
man.
hey, if you send me a poster, I'm not
KLH
gonna
poster any day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna throw it away. Just saying.
Yeah. So like, KLH poster any day, or any of the other teams, just hand me the posters, man.
I'll gladly be a fan outside of casting. So
Oh yeah, I mean,
rooting for you.
Yeah, sure. Of course, the reason why we had that small bit of time to kind of chit chat a little bit is because we were on the live servers, which means that we had that 3-minute spectator delay, and we will be hopping into game very, very shortly. And once again, it's going to be that Poro Rider Sejuani. So yay, here we go. As it's going to be KLH starting things off on the blue side now. 13 goes with Renekton up at the top lane. Moon playing that Poro Rider Sejuani, Ozorveki with that Lissandra. Jae-Young now playing Vayne, and Caspo playing Janna.
And the thing about Jae-Young, his claim to fame was basically amazing Vayne mechanics, and now he's picked up that Vayne again. In previous instances, his Vayne did very well, but that was when Caspi was playing Leona. Now with this very supporty peel style of Janna, it's up to Jae-Young to see whether he can find his footing and mesh together.
Yeah, and okay, here we go. Pause has been the game will be resuming very, very shortly. So very short pause right there. Hopefully not too big of an issue for both teams here. KTHXBAI gonna start things off on the red side as well. Swag's gonna be playing the Aviator. Really, I've never thought that I will see that skin in ever.
I have that skin, and it is amazing because you're hitting them with a propeller, and you could be the pilot of the team and carry everyone.
Okay, that's a pretty good analogy to put it with. And Stray playing Jarvan. It's gonna be Kuala In the mid lane playing Oriana, and CO4 playing Caitlyn, and last but not least, it's going to be Pyro on Fresh.
Yeah, on the blue side, you can see 13 Ghosts playing that Renekton in the top lane. Moon, once again on Sejuani with that very cute Poro Rider skin. In the mid lane, Azura Veki, Lissandra standing on top of a ward. I believe he knows it's there because he hit it one time. Jaeyoung in the AD carry position playing that Vayne, the hyper carry. And Caspiu on Jenna, the weather report goddess, I believe, at this point in time. She's dancing, so, you know, not taking it too seriously.
And getting electrocuted.
Yeah,
as
unfortunate,
well, so.
you know. It's on the line of duty, so.
Yeah, she's kind of doing her job as well. Look at her. She's like, you know, speaking in front of camera. And
yeah, but hold on. A delayed invade looks to be happening here. Pyro, as well as the rest of the team, are going in. Jaeyoung, you shouldn't be dancing.
The dancing and the death sentence down onto Jaeyoung as well. Will Jaeyoung go down? No, he flashes over the wall, but KLH getting a little bit too comfortable there.
Yeah,
definitely.
So Jaeyoung dancing there, all I can say is he was definitely not using the safety dance. So.
No way, man. So, KTHXBAI bought a little bit of a time for themselves with that delayed invade. And I think that was KTHXBAI brilliantly knowing for a fact, you know, playing to the habits that KLH have. You know, they know for a fact that, you know what, they're going to be playing it very safely. They're going to spread out all throughout the map. Let's go for a delayed invade, and that paid off so well for them.
Yeah, very clean there, adapting to their opponent's style very quickly. You could see the differences in style as well. Moon soloing that Gromp going over to the blue buff, whereas Stray on Jarvan got some help from Pyro and CO4. So they got to lane a bit late. Maybe they may hit level 2 late as well.
Yeah, and Jaeyoung's going to be set back in terms of his experience, but I guess not by too much. But in this lane setting, when you have this Caitlyn going up against the Vayne, it's almost pretty crucial that you at least stay on target. As we start to see the, the harassment already coming down from Caitlyn in this lane, and that's something just to be expected.
Yeah, it really is to be expected when you play Vayne into Caitlyn. You're gonna be eating those auto attacks. You're going a bit low there, buddy. Don't die. That'll be really, really embarrassing.
Yeah, but I think that's the new thing about the jungle as well.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, we will be seeing a lot of this, blinking red health bars from the jungle. It's just so difficult to stay healthy unless you have some sort of innate sustain. Like for example, Kha'Zix or Warwick, for example.
So you look at this situation now whereby they know that Jaeyoung doesn't have his flash up. Stray started on the blue buff, he based to get his Stalker's Blade. He could very well gank the ball lane now with that slow and additional vision that he can get on Jaeyoung. So a gank now by Stray would be very timely.
Well, let's see if that's going to be the case here, as right here down the bottom lane actually, Jaeyoung as well as Pyro doing pretty... sorry, not Jaeyoung. I mean, Jaeyoung as well as Caspo still doing okay for themselves, even though they did take a fair amount of poke from CO4 as well as Pyro.
Yeah, but on the top lane, Swag is taking the CS lead from 13 Ghosts. It could just be that he knows the matchup really well and is playing it to the best of his abilities. However, 13 Ghosts isn't one to be slacking now, putting a lot of damage down as 13 moonwalks past the ward.
Right, here we go. Will they go for the fight here? Pyro gets stunned in from the condemn as well. Has to blow his flash. So it was a very early gank attempt from Moon, but at least it burnt a summoner spell, so not too bad on the side of Lumpur Hunters. And in fact, looking for a second one onto Pyro as well, knowing for a fact that that major cooldown is actually down. We actually do have the counter gank from Stray up on the top lane as well. So let's see what's going to be the result for that one. Down the bottom lane, it is going to be Pyro that gets zeroed in. I think this should be a kill going over to Lumpur Hunters. The heal now comes back up as well, and they are going to feed the kill over to Jaeyoung. And up on the top lane, the response now comes through from KTHXBAI. It is going to be Swag picking up the kill. So tit for tat, it is going to be a 1-for-1 exchange in the mid lane as well. We do see Kuala going up against Azura Veki. Kuala is going quite low in terms of mana, but he does have the upper hand in terms of health.
Yeah, the kill going over to Jaeyoung definitely worth more than the kill going over to Swag, because in top lane you could still turtle up. Azura Veki,
right, he's going to get zoomed in once again. The Ignite now goes down as well. Will they dive in onto this one? And yes, they do. Azura Veki flashes in for the last bit of damage on the auto attack as well, securing the kill for Lumpur Hunters yet again.
Yeah, so the issue now is that this Vayne does have that CS lead as well as the, I want to say item lead once he recalls. He's going to be able to bully out this Caitlyn, because the nature of the matchup is that you assume both stay even up to the point where Caitlyn bully out Vayne. But now that Vayne has sort of artificially spiked up her power, she's going to be able to deal with that CO4 Caitlyn if he gets the lifesteal in the form of the Bilgewater Cutlass, which he just did.
Yeah, and the thing about Vayne, once she hits level 6 as well, is that she has so much more brawling prowess as compared to Caitlyn in the long run. If you think just the start of the fight, the final hour goes down for Vayne, and then she will be able to kite back and forth against Caitlyn to try to dodge out at least the Q and, you know, get a lot more damage and the Silver Bolt procs as well.
Yeah, the issue with the matchup is that you have to stay at max range as Caitlyn. If not, you effectively just die. Stray, however, making some moves up to top. Moon is waiting in the brush though.
Right, Swag might just take too much minion aggro though. Here we go, the jungler and the top laners going up against each other. Stray taking so much damage off of that one, getting smited down, but it is going to be 13 Ghost that picks up the kill. Swag's going to be the one to try to fend for his life now. Flashes away into safety under his turret. So it is the counter gang that works out pretty well for Lumpur Hunters up in the top lane.
You really have to give credit right here to Moon. He's making so many plays early on, getting his team ahead. You could see easy 500 goal lead. I fear for solo queue when Sejuani starts to hit the jungle.
Oh man. You know, it kind of always happens. Every time you have a jungler that, you know, kind of oddball but works really well, you will start to see that happening in the solo queue. So we did get the death sentence down onto Caspo, but to not much avail.
Yeah, the Howling Gale being used to disengage very effectively here by Caspio. He's done a very good job in staving off the aggression coming from Pyro. I really like his moves in the bot lane here.
Yep. Speaking about oddball picks and junglers, how has your solo queue experience been ever since Kiki's played that jungle TF?
I haven't seen too much of jungle TF, but occasionally when it shows up, they tend to die to the second buff that they try to take. So I mean,
alright, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah, I just laugh and, you know, move on.
Alright then. So back once again at the bottom lane, Jaehyung now. Actually, he does have that one item lead that you know, Bilgewater Cutlass, so he will be able to deal with CO4 slightly more effectively.
Yeah, especially with the lifesteal now. Caitlyn won't do as much, won't be as much of a problem if you're constantly lifestealing up her harass. Here they spot out Stray doing that Scuttle Crab, running away from him. The ward sees him, and I don't think they're gonna collapse at any point in time.
Yeah, that's right, and we do have the blue buff now going back to Ozorveki, as it's going to be the same case for Kuala here. So Lumpur Hunters is taking a much slower approach as compared to game number 1, but I think slowly and steadily they are building up a pretty good lead.
Yeah, definitely lead build up in their favor, especially the fact that their composition relies on, you know, scaling a bit later on and fighting AoE team fights. If Jaehyung gets to that point before CO4, they could prematurely pull the trigger and choose the fights that they want, even though it's not exactly the best fights that they could take, but they could brute force it with their item and power levels.
So Ozorveki just dodging out the ball for Mariana at this point of time. Moon once again gonna collapse, look to collapse down to the mid lane, as it's gonna be Kuala that needs to be extremely wary of where Moon is up and about.
Yeah, fortunately for KTB, there was a pink ward there on the banana brush around, so Kuala was not baited into overextending. Bit of trading going on in this top lane, as bruisers always do. CS lead about 62, 63 apiece. Pretty even if you have to compare them.
Yeah, but I think that at this stage, Swag is still holding on to his own very well, just one CS apart. And you would think that it's because of the fact that he knows Renekton so well. And whenever you have this guy, oh hold on now, in the mid lane, we do get Kuala getting collapsed down upon. And that might be the death of him, but a pretty nice shockwave to try to stop the attempt, but there was already too much damage that was done.
I call that combination of the Frozen Tomb and the Frozen Prison something like, you know, Vanilla Ice Baby. Yeah, that's that combination
Ice Baby.
that they're going to be running on.
We're just going to call it that from now on, every time we see that happen. And we did get, what was that, Stray picking up his own jungle red buff as well. And let's see if Moon's going to collapse onto the top lane once more. There's not going to be any help from his jungler this time, as Swag looks to escape out of this one. 13 Ghost is going to go all in onto that one. There is no Glacial Prison this time around. And Swag once again survives by the you know, the skin of his teeth.
It's so tricky to be able to kill this Irelia, because with his Blade Surge as well as the Transcendent Blade, he can heal up so much, and the Equilibrium Strike. It's a very, very long stun, you have to think.
Oh, hold on now. Caspo and Pyro gonna meet up against each other. The two support players kind of roaming around, trying to establish some vision around the river area. And you know, back to the point, when you know a champion so well, you will know how to play against it as well. And I think that's gonna be the point that Swag is looking out for.
Yeah, in the mid lane here as well, Reki has not had the opportunity to start his roams. However, 2-0 in lane ain't that bad after all. Kuala will be looking towards the Athene's Unholy Grail, following that up with a Death Cap, or Azania's Hourglass will maximize his damage effectively in team fights.
Alright, something I want to point out as well is that Jaeyoung, he has been staying in lane with that Bridgewater Cutlass ever since that first kill that he has. The thing at CO4 is that he's behind in CS, but he did go back and pick up a couple of items for himself, so that BF sword is going to help in trading against Jaeyoung. So when that happens, that is a point that we really have to watch out for.
Yeah, but in this response, look, Moon has the Glacial Prison, he's coming out of this bot lane, Ozraveki's here as well.
Right, here we go now, the Frozen Tomb, and where is the ice, baby? Not quite yet, but I think that simple Frozen Tomb is going to be enough to bring down Pyro. Not much contest from KTHXBAI whatsoever, and it is going to be a 4-man stack down into the bottom lane. Kuala Lumpur Hunters might look for some more here. And here we go now, Glacial Prison down onto CO4 there, getting stunned up by the Condemn as well. That is one more kill going over to Moon. Nice and easy here. Kuala Lumpur Hunters, let's see if they can pick up more. It is still a 4v2 around the blue side jungle of KTHXBAI.
Yeah, very good control here of vision by KLH, making all the moves that they need to. They know they can dive it once the Glacial Prison is up. Jaeyoung with his tumble as well as Final Hour will be very mobile. However, they are standing on the ward. Shockwave is available, the teleport from Shock comes in.
But this might be a very dangerous point for KLH here. Here we go now, Stray's going to jump in onto that one, and the Monster's going to reset the fight. Here comes the command Shockwave, but not doing too much damage whatsoever. Kuala Lumpur Hunters, we did see Ozorveki pick up one kill straight on the back end, picks up a kill onto Jaeyoung. KLH here might still turn the fight around against KTHXBAI, but looks like they might just want to take out the Dragon here, with Caspo doing some zoning duty.
Yeah, the majority of KTHXBAI's team fight potential comes from the Shockwave landing as well as the Caitlyn hitting from behind. However, in this case, Caitlyn was around, they get the Dragon. KLH might go down for this and pay.
Right, here we go, and CO4 still around the corner though. Not much chasing power on the side of KTHXBAI, so I think that's going to be the end of that engage. And so Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they pick up a couple of kills and the Dragon as well. That's a pretty important point of this matchup.
Yeah, when you have a composition that relies on getting your vein fed to that point and using the AoE wombo combo in the form of Lissandra as well as the Sejuani, like that, you want more damage.
Oh my goodness, Ozorveki just melted down Stray once again, like what we saw. And you know, he's sitting at a 4-0-2 point as well, not having too much API to stack, and still gets the kill. And speaking about kills, we do get the return kill down onto Caspo. Kola picks that up easy.
Yeah, overextending a bit too much there. Jaeyoung, however, wants to be able to fight this Caitlyn. Back to your point in the mid lane, Caspio, he's been a bit unsure of his Janna. I feel like that's because the style of the champion isn't something that he's so accustomed to. So overextending and protecting his AD carry with a Janna seems to be a bit tricky for him.
That's right, that's something that he will need to quickly learn and adapt to as the game goes by. But I think that Monsoon in the last fight was still pretty good, even though it kind of wasn't sufficient to protect his AD carry. But if you look at it, Jaeyoung is still pretty much ahead of CO4 in terms of either himself, Blade of the Ruined King, as compared to a BF4. And right now it's going to be Swag fighting back up in the top lane, as he knows for a fact that he does have a couple of items in. And here comes the Glacial Prison to help him out as well. Will Swag be able to escape this time? I'm not too sure, and it is going to be 13 goals. That picks up the kill, and CO4 down the bottom lane, picking up Jaeyoung as well. And it looks like third time's the charm for 13 goals up in the top lane.
Very good play there by 13 goals, using the window provided after Swag popped his Transcendent Blades to try and trade. That allowed Moon to come in, use the Glacial Prison. You don't have the heal from Transcendent Blades. You can just all in him. Even though he stuns you on the turret, you're both healthy enough to dive.
Right then, Kuala Lumpur Hunters looking to press on forward with the advantages that they have 4.6 thousand in their favor as well. CO4 might just be able to do a lot of damage to Caspo. Does not have... Wait, does he have? Yeah, he does have the ace in the hole as well, so Caspo needs to be extremely careful of how much damage he does.
Yeah, but the great buff here going over to KLH is going to be worth a lot, considering Draven, after he misses his flag and drag, will have nothing to slow besides that W of his. So this red buff gonna negate a lot of the ganky potential coming from Stray.
Yeah, just straight up taking away the objective from KTHXBAI is definitely a good sign to have. And coming back to the mid lane, we do see Ozorveki back into lane now with the meatless Liga shot, so he's gonna do a lot more damage than he did previously.
And the thing is, he's 4-0-2. At this point in time, he's a level above Orianna. There's a window of power spike where he has his level 2 ultimate compared to Orianna, who doesn't have that level 2 shockwave. If they pick a fight here, it's going to be hugely advantageous for the Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
That's right, and if you look at it very carefully as well, Kola did go for did opt for that very early Athenes on Holy Grail as well, instead of that Morello Nomicon. The thing about Orianna is that your first shockwave is not going to do too much, and level 11 is a real power spike. And you need a couple of AP items to come in before you start to do a lot of AP damage. So I think this is going to be an opportunity that Kuala Lumpur Hunters will want to exploit.
Wow, great Howling Gale there by KTB. Cancels the flag and drag. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Kuala, you're going down, buddy. Ice Shard to the face. Swag has something to say about that.
Wow, yeah, that is the shutdown now going over to Swag as well. So Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they know for a fact that Kuala is going to be vulnerable. They took him down, but Swag up in the top lane. We said for a fact that, you know, he does very well on Bruiser champions, and he managed to get the shutdown to Ozorveki. And it means that, you know, he's going to do a lot more. Pyro gonna throw down the death sentence, but Capo just blocking that off very, very quickly. As now it's gonna be 13 goals jumping into the fight against 3 members. He might just go down. He does pop the dominance, but I don't think that's gonna be quite enough. So the shutdown with the Cataclysm is gonna bring him down.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay there. Overconfident, you have to feel, by 13 goals. Going in without any cover. He was cut off from the rest of his team. Jaehyung, however, funneling in one by one is this KLH squad. They have to be careful.
Right, here we go now. That's pop the final hour as well. Looking down to focus onto CO4 here. Moon just doing so much zone control, but it is going to be Swap diving onto him on the back line. Where is the triple? He might just get it, and that is the triple as well. And he is so low though. It is going to be the shutdown now. Kuala picks up that one nice and easy.
Yeah, triple kill for Jaehyung at the end of the day does give over the shutdown to Kuala, so that's some much needed gold in his back pocket. We'll be looking to go for the Void Staff or Seekers into the Zhonya's Hourglass, you have to think. But right here, very good zone control as you pointed out from Moon. Basically his primary job is just to defend Jaehyung after using that Glacial Prison.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly point out for the triple kill for Jaehyung as well. Practically the whole team of KTHXBAI was there, and it was a 2v5 fight as well. So for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, that was an exclusive preview to what they can do when Jaehyung does get all the peel and you know, the assistance that he needs in order to make the big plays happen.
This is like KLH saying it's not even my true form, and it's not even fought 5v5, layering the ultimates properly yet. So I think KTHXBAI here, you really have to be careful and not overestimate your own abilities.
That's right, and with the kill that with the triple kill that Jaehyung actually picked up, he has gone back to buy a Brutalizer. So I think he's gonna look into that Ghost Blade very, very soon. So that's gonna, you know, give him that extra bit of steroid in order to burst someone down very, very quickly.
A trap being set up here by, I think, KTHXBAI. They're motioning down towards this bot lane of Jaehyung. Jaehyung could effectively do out CO4 very easily, considering he has that Blade of the Ring King, the final hour, and the tumble will get him in range to kill CO4. However, steps on a trap rather.
Yeah, and the thing about CO4 as well is that he hasn't been able to complete out the Infinity Edge, and that is a huge power difference between the both the AD carries here in this game. Right, here comes the rest of the Kuala Lumpur Hunter squad here. There's no one to spot them out as well. And we did see Pyro very preemptively pop their flash as well. And meanwhile, up in the top lane, both the brawlers are going up against Edit again. And Kuala is now up to try to help him out. Where's the ball delivery system? Here we go into the shockwave as well. KTHXBAI opens up the fight with 1 kill. But now Jaehyung is left untouched. Is he going to go all in onto that one? Gets the double. Where's the triple? He is looking to collapse down onto Kuala here, but he does have the slow and the blue buff as well. So he needs to be extremely careful of his positioning here. Is he going to be able to outplay Kuala? Not quite yet. Kuala will be able to walk out of that one.
Yeah, the reason they managed to win that fight was because Jaehyung was on the back untouched. The shockwave did not hit him at all, neither did the rest of the crowd control. Sok here, teleporting into the top lane to counter this push by 13 Ghosts. So, KLH, really aggressive.
Okay, we go now. Kuala getting taken down again. Jaehyung looking for the third proc, and he does get the condemn into the wall as well. And that final bit of damage is going to earn Jaehyung one more kill as they look to take out the blue buff. Stray might have something to say about that though, but it is a 3-for-2 fight here. And so Zorveki is going to be the one to steal away the blue buff from KTHXBAI. Swat on the backline now might look to take away Casper, but he is backing off from the time being because the rest of the team is around the corner. And Zorveki is going to go in onto Stray. Is he going to stay alive? Yes, he does. CO4 picks up the kill, and Pyro looks to pull in someone with the Dark Passage, and this might be the dragon that KTHXBAI wants to go for. But 4 members of Kuala Lumpur Hunters are still alive though. This is a 4v4 fight with the dragon. Aggro still on to KTHXBAI here. Let's see how this fight is gonna end up here. Yes, Jaehyung and Moon are dangerously low for the rest of the fight here. CO4 just using his range, trying to deal out as much damage from afar as possible. 13 Girls gonna go in with the Dominus now, and the Death Sentence now down onto Jaeyoung. That is a huge shutdown going over to KTHXBAI here, and they are going all in onto the rest of the Kuala Hunter squad here. It is a 1-for-2 exchange here, as they will take out the Dragon for themselves as well. 3-for-1 exchange and the Dragon. Huge point in this match.
When you play a composition like that centered around your Vayne doing damage over time in a fight, you cannot afford to get crowd control unless you have a quick Silver Sash. In that instant, the lights went out for Jaeyoung the moment the hook connected. The rest of KTHXBAI powered on. Glacial Prison a bit too late, you have to think. And at that point in time, maybe the better call would have been to back off.
Yeah, that's right, and I have to say, huge hook from Pyro there. Zeroing in onto Jaeyoung was what they needed in order to close out that fight. And KTHXBAI here buy themselves a fresh breath of air and desperately needed, a fresh breath of air that they desperately needed, and they need to work something off of that.
Yeah, but they only get like a grasp of air because right now this 5,000 gold lead KLH is poised to push down the mid lane. Blue buff will be transferred over to Moon, however. So Swag here, you can see controlling vision, the best of his abilities. KTHXBAI want to be a bit more aggressive, so they got to lay down the foundation for that.
Yeah, and something I want to point out as well is that even though KTHXBAI came out ahead of that fight, Jaeyoung is still 7-4-3, does have that Ghost Blade completed and is working perhaps towards a Phantom Dancer or a Static Shift. And Ozora Vector as well, he himself has been working very, very well in the mid lane, 5-2-3. Still has that Needless Steelard shot, not too sure what that's going to go into, but he does have that Fiends on Holy Grail completed to try to negate some of the damage that Kuala is dealing out.
So getting that Ghost Blade does signal to me that he's going to be able to kite really well. Not only that, but he's going to be looking for those 1v1 duels where he can pop the Ghost Blade, and that burst of attack speed is going to surprise his enemy out of the blue. Now, Jaeyoung being able to split push is one thing, but I feel like at this point in time, Swag could actually deal with him pretty well. However, they do send Kuala to do that, so KTB here.
Oh, nice Howling Gale once again, just blowing straight up in the air, making sure that he's not going to come close into range. And right now it's going to be Jaeyoung man versus man against Kuala here. Is he going to go in onto Kuala on this one? Lots of damage now, and Silver Bolt procs, and is the red buff going to take Kuala down? Not quite, because the barrier is right there. And CL4 now might find himself in a lot of trouble. Just look at the tons of damage that Jaeyoung is dealing out just using the Silver procs. He's practically one against all against KTHXBAI, just drawing so much attention. And in fact, it's going to be Casper now up in the top lane, supporting the top laner to try to take down Swag. I think they should be able to do it. Not quite yet. Swag still has that inbuilt tenacity from the passive, and he is going to walk out of there alive, but Kuala Hunters is going to look to collapse down into the bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely a misplay there. I believe Stray missed his EQ combination as a Swag wants to turn this on the KTB. Throw the cloud, man.
Oh my goodness, he's going to be able to do it. Casper's still alive for a short time. Gonna flash over the terrain though. Swag not gonna take the risk, as he's gonna be very happy with the trade right here. Jaeyoung toppling out of the flag and drag, but it's gonna get caught in by the Cataclysm. Still staying alive for the time being though. Once again, the death sentence making a huge difference as KTHXBAI brings Jaeyoung down yet again. Moon still running for his life here. Will they get the last bit of crowd control down onto him? I'm not too sure about that one. Pyro still definitely chasing though. Death sentence lands down onto him. Will they have enough damage to follow up? So the box now comes through as well. CO4 has finally chased back into the fight here, and that is going to be yet another kill going over to KTHXBAI.
Very extended engage there. Chasing all the way onto the mid turret. A lot of resources dedicated to that, but not getting any objectives after that does mean that the gold gap is still about 4,000 gold here. The hooks coming from Pyro, however, really keeping them in the game.
Yeah, you got to think back about a couple of minutes ago. KLH was almost up by about 10 kills, and right now KTHXBAI has caught up to about 1 kill differential, and they might just close that one in with Pyro picking up the kill onto 13 goals.
You look at something that KLH is doing very poorly, is the fact that they're funneling in one by one like that. You don't want to fight 5v5 and funnel in one by one.
That's right, Casper's going to go down as well, and they do get a return kill. Jaeyoung is now looking to make the big play. The fight has taken so much damage already from the command distance from Kuala at this point of time, so they have to be extremely careful on how they approach this. But KTHXBAI bringing the fight back to KLH has already closed out the kill counts here. All they need now is to try to get a couple of objectives, and they will be back on level playing ground.
Honestly speaking, if they waited about 5 seconds more, Moon's out would have been up to stun. Oh my goodness, Jaeyoung, you are so low. Be careful. But as I was saying, if Moon's out was up at the point of time and he caught 2 or 3 members, Jaeyoung could very easily clean up, but unfortunately they were impatient, didn't have the discipline that they needed to wait for the rest of the team. They shouldn't and should not be going one by one like that.
Yeah, that's right, and they need to, at all costs, avoid that sort of situation because they have been just throwing the momentum ball back towards KTHXBAI, and they have been quickly building that up into a lot of item advantages. Just look at Kuala at this stage, does have the death card completed, and we saw how quickly he was able to bring Jaeyoung low just using the command dissonance itself.
Yeah, not to mention, if you look at the goal lead, it's been steadily closing in the favor of KTHXBAI from 5,000 to 4,000, now about to 3,000. Very soon they're going to catch up and get to the point where Kuala's shockwaves are going to hurt like mad. Shock is going to be able to 1v1 duel out Jaeyoung, and KLH have no response to that.
I just want to quickly point out the itemization for Pyro as well. Very interesting choice to go for the Righteous Fury. Kind of acts the same way as the Talisman of Ascension, but not quite yet, because you know you kind of get that extra bit of slow, and you need to be in closer range in order for that speed boost to happen.
And I feel like the main reason he does that is because he believes that CO4 is going to be so far away from the enemies that he's not going to be chain locked by any CC. He's going to be able to farm, or rather hit the enemies safe from far away. So no need for mid-chaos in that situation. The engage potential worth much more when you can deliver the ball in.
Alright, that's right, and here we go now. Dragon's going to come back alive once again. Swag's going to start things up for the rest of the team. KLH is around the corner as well. Let's look at where they are going to go in for this one. Not quite yet. The Howling Gale's going to stop the fight. And here comes the Glacial Prison as well. And Jaeyoung still on the back line here. The command shockwave only hits one member. And KLH might just take this fight nice and easy now. It's going to be CO4 that's going to be zoned in right here. And that's the double kill now going over to Jaeyoung here. Pyro's going to run for his life here. And it is a 3-for-0 exchange in the favor of KLH.
Overextending without vision at that point of time, very poor judgment call there for KTHXBAI. You can see on their map they only have wards in their side. They spotted out Lissandra walking behind Dragon, but the re-engage coming in from the Glacial Prison way too strong. The shockwave hitting one only meant that KLH was basically able to just walk past them, because that's the only tool that KTHXBAI has to zone KLH.
Yeah, in fact, I think that is the only reason why KLH was able to come out of that fight ahead. Because if you think about it, they should have been a bit more patient, right? And like you mentioned, they overextended around that Dragon Pit area. That's why they kind of gave away a lot of positioning advantage to KLH. And that shockwave, you know, just killing one member was too easy to deal with for KLH, and they just walked all over KTHXBAI after that fight.
The thing is, he's gonna finish up his Void Staff very soon. Kuala will have the AP as well as the magic penetration needed to do a lot of damage. The question is where he can land those clutch shockwaves. You could see sometimes when a new member is introduced to the team or hasn't been playing enough with that team, you get a bit of nerves and you tend to miss those clutch moments. You need to pull the trigger and be confident in your play.
Yeah. End of the day, I think it all boils down to the sort of patience play that Kuala will be able to bring out. If you think about it, the best thing about having Orianna in the team, especially around the Dragon Pit area, is that you can use that ball to zone. Unfortunately for KTHXBAI, they were unable to do that, and they gave out a bunch of advantages over back to KLH.
Yeah, the ball serving as vision is very important in this case, because KLH composition is very good at catching you from different flanking angles. You can use the Glacial Pass, you can use the Arctic Assault, you can use the Slice and Dice to go through all the different walls and be a bit sneaky with your plays.
Exactly, so you know, just having that ball, I think Kuala just needs to time in, you know, like you mentioned, perhaps it's nerves and you know, experience with the team or something like that. But I'm sure, you know, just get that in and, you know, you'll be able to turn the fight around for KTHXBAI.
Look at this, they have to send 4 people down to the bot side because Jaeyoung is pushing that. Their shot calling, admittably here, is very, very, very poor. You have to feel that. You just send Sok there in this case, and then you send Orianna to the top lane. Kuala has all that magic penetration. 13 Ghosts has not built the slightest bit of magic resist you have to feel. So, all in all, I'm not sure why they're pulling that move. Or why they aren't pulling that move in this case.
I think it's a lot of respect going over to Jaeyoung as well. They know for a fact that, you know, he's going to be an extremely strong duelist now that he has the Infinity Edge as well as the, you know, bit of ranking, and, you know, a lot of items just quickly stacked up on his end. So, in essence, they need to send multiple members to deal with him. And even for Swag, I'm not too sure he himself will be able to deal with this monstrosity of a Vayne that has been, you know, fed so many kills over.
And it's come to the point where you don't know if Sok can do that. Holy, they're going in.
Right there we go now. Jaeyoung's just gonna fire away with his own pleasure here, and he's gonna get the double kill in as well. Where's the triple? Not quite yet, but He is still alive in the fight. KLH still going in for that one. That is the triple going over to Jaeyoung. And the teleport now comes in for Swag, and he did not cancel that. I'm not too sure what was the choice here, but that is the ace now going over to Kuala for Hunters. The bottom lane in the turret is going to go down as well, and I think they will be able to pick up the inhibitor turret off of this fight.
Comeback Azura Vicky steals away the quadra kill, but I'm not too sure what Swag was thinking, teleporting into 3 people. Maybe he thought he could save the turret, but at the end of the day, it was the Jaeyoung show. They caught someone out with the glacial, the frozen tomb, and then it was just the ghost signal for him to pop his final hour, tumble in with the Zhonya's, or not Zhonya's rather, but the Youmu's Ghost Blade, and just destroy everyone on the KTB side. With the Shockwave missing him, even easier.
And Jaeyoung going in for some intimidation, and look at that one shot down onto Pyro, just took out 1/3 of his HP as well. That's how scary this Vayne is at its point.
You have to give him a lot of respect. You could see there, Pyro missed the hook. The moment Jaeyoung tumbled forward, he's like, nope, don't want any piece of this, has to flash out.
Exactly. So at this stage, Kuala Lumpur Hunters having a strong grasp of the game now, taking out the bottom lane inhibitor, which means that they have a lot more to work with. You know, they can go try to contest for the Baron as well. So effectively the only... Oh, hold on now. Bomb lane. Did they get a kill?
Yep.
Again.
Go for it, you went down.
Guess he kind of just overextended without any sort of vision whatsoever.
Yeah, one gripe I have about the KTB squad, what they're doing here is pretty poor. The fact that you only have 1 random wins on your team in the form of Swag.
Right, here we go now. That sentence now onto Jaeyoung though. Is it going to be enough damage? I don't think so. And Jaeyoung still staying alive in the fight here. Might need to disengage from this fight though, but we saw he was caught out of position. He still survived off of that one, and it's going to be 13 goals as well as Ozorveki that's going to come back into this one. Swag might just come back. Not quite yet. 13 goals picks up yet another kill. Jaeyoung with a very nice assist using the condemn.
Yeah, very clean play there. Condemning him out of the Blade Surge does mean that he's gonna get a kill handily. Back to my point before, the fight erupted. They only have 1 random Omen, and that's how you're gonna stop Vayne. You gotta slow attack speed, you gotta keep her from doing maximum amount of damage. The person with the random Omen is always late to the fight, or never at the fight rather. I mean, how are you gonna deal with the Vayne? There's no one else on KTB squad that's gonna build the randoms this late in. Stray looks to be trying to attempt to build it. The other factor is that there's Frozen Heart.
Yep.
No one on KTHXBAI has the use for stats like that.
That's right. So, I mean, in that sense, Jaeyoung is already out of control. 15, 5, and 7 on this Vayne. Completed most of his major items up as well. He's looking to go for another BFO item. So, I think maybe the, the QSS, the Mercurial Scimitar. So, in that sense, has a lot of gold to work with here. And even for the rest of the KLH squad as well, if you look at it, they are playing absolutely brilliantly. For Ozorveki, 8, 3, and 12 does have the Death Tech leader. He's always there to look for the picks when he knows that he can do it. And for Moon as well, just playing his role perfectly, killing for Jaeyoung, making sure that he's safe on the back end.
Look at how quickly this Baron is going down. Jaeyoung with his Silver Boats proc, not even going to give KTHXBAI the chance to react. Even though they've side of it, it doesn't even matter. Now with that extra buff, Jaeyoung split pushing is going to be extra deadly.
Right, that's right. So, Tesco now taking a bit of damage from the command dissonance, but it is the Baron buff now out for Kuala Lumpur Hunters here. So what they need to do now is just make one good effective siege and a push here, and they should be able to close out another inhibitor for themselves. Because the bottom one is actually going to knock in the face of KTHXBAI here.
Yeah, a bit of a slow death here coming in for KTHXBAI. With the Baron buff and how far they are compared to their opponents, KLH should effectively group up now. They have the movement speed and just push down the lane, because you're not gonna lose a team fight unless you misplay it horribly currently with your item powers.
Yeah, that's right. I think they're just gonna play it safe for the time being though, so just getting the wave shoved up and the wave pushed in as well. So 5 members of KTHXBAI just zooming around the bottom lane area, so it has just gone back to buy and coming back into lane now, so not too sure where they're gonna push down here, but Jaeyoung definitely is very confident of his abilities, just split pushing by himself down the bottom lane.
Yeah, he's playing very forward and aggressive here. He thinks that he can take most of the members from KTB, even 1v1 or 2v1.
Okay, we got our first one now down to Steel 4, melting him down so quickly. Here comes the command shockwave. I don't think it's gonna be enough though, and Pyro now gonna get knocked into the air. And Jaeyoung now legendary AD carry on the side of KLH. I think that's gonna be the game being closed off by KLH. There's so much attacking potential from the rest of the squad here. The first Nexus is going to go down. The second one is going to sure to follow as have a lot of free space to work with here. But it's the only one left for defensive duties here. But that's not going to be enough as KLH closes out game number 2 of this best of 2 series.
Yeah, congratulations to KLH. They now go 2-0. They can actually make a very good fight now for that top 3 position to advance out of group stages and hopefully, very hopefully, head to IM Taipei.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, in game number 1, it was a very dominant victory for the entirety of KLH squad. But game number 2 was a lot of focus was on Jaeyoung. You know, we were talking about it. Okay, will this Vayne pick work? And I guess it just fits so well into the play style that he wanted to. You know, to be the hyper carry, you have the rest of the support, you have the rest of the supporting class, you can be the main actor.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, it works perfectly for KLH. Their style of protect Jaeyoung really works. But can you think, wow, 35,000 damage dealt to champions. That is ridiculous. The second closest being, I believe, Ozora. Oh no, Kuala here on Oriana. So very, very close. I think Ozora Veki is slightly behind by about 1,000. But more or less, Jaeyoung, the leading star man of the show here.
Yeah, but that's right. So, you know, with that, that's going to be game number 2 going over to Kuala Lumpur Hunters. And congratulations, they will move forward in the table. But the action is not over. Tomorrow we have some more matches. The first series is going to be War Gods Diamond going up against the Bangkok Titans. And then for the subsequent one, it is going to be War Gods going up against Asus Fate. So more action is going to come your way tomorrow. And, you know, that's going to be it from all of us. And, you know, from myself, Chris, from Hungry Kid, and the rest of the GPL production crew, we will see you tomorrow on Boxing Day. And not forgetting, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow.